It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. The heart of Massachusetts should be freedom, justice, and liberty. Freedom led pilgrims to Plymouth Bay. Salem trials had justice too late. The sons of liberty spilled the tea, and then the redcoats spilled their blood. The shot heard around the world rang out from the Bay State. Boston strong and ready to defend. It's where revolution started and ends. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. Quincy Market, Freedom Trail, Charles River, Boston Harbor, Bunker Hill, Griffin's Wharf, Fenway Park, Omar Charge. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day.
Good morning, people. Boom.
Boom. Here we are. Happy 4th, everybody. Don't forget
Right.
what today's about.
Enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day. Yeah,
Well,
it's gonna be a nice
lot
day
of-
today.
A lot of people gave their lives for us to have this one day.
Oh yeah.
A lot. More than there's been how many wars? Not just
Oh,
what we
Jesus.
know,
Yeah.
just what we know. Go back.
Yeah. 1776, independence was signed.
The Indians were friggin' sniping the people here. They were taking them out. They were having none of it. They were fighting Indians.
Sniping. I haven't heard that word in a long time. That's an old school snipe. That's an old school word. I liked it though. Yeah. Wow. I sniped it. I love that.
Yep.
What's up for today? What do you got going on, huh? It's 4th of July.
We had a little chit chat with Nan when she gets a second. She'll pop on. We'll say hi to Nan.
Oh,
Sure,
nice.
4th and see how she's doing. Add a third to the mix.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that company. That's
Yep.
good stuff. I'm glad we came on today. I know I wasn't gonna, but I'm glad we did.
Just to
'Cause
check
you
in
know
with
what?
people, make sure they're
Yeah.
good.
It's not the same without doing a show. No, it's weird.
Right.
You know, so
People gotta know,
we-
man. They
we've
gotta
been
know.
going since January, right? For
Yeah.
4 days, 6 days, whatever it is, right?
Every
it's like
day.
it's
Yeah,
like missing.
We're going wild before that too.
I know it was like missing work though. I feel like something's wrong with my day if I don't do a show. Is that weird or what, man? Like,
No.
like
No.
forgetting to let your dogs out or something. Like, I'm just like, no, I gotta I can't move past my morning without doing the show, which is good, which I
Yeah.
think is good. I think it's healthy, you know. But did you see the did you see the new video? Flip sent me. I woke up to a video in my inbox.
Okay.
Flips he's somewhere, and I think he's out in the shores. But he made a duck
He's
video.
at an undisclosed location.
Yeah, he's in he's in the Witsec.
Yeah.
He made a video about ducks.
Really.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Can I send it to you?
Yeah.
All right. And you can play it because it breaks up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give it a
It's funny.
We'll give it a shot. We got another lose.
Right.
Listen.
How should I send it to you?
Just send it next. Listen, we need to get Flip on because he was really instrumental in some of the evidence, right? That
Oh,
Karen's
Jesus,
team
yeah.
actually used. I mean, he was breaking stuff down at another level for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
So-
you're right.
I think we need to get him on and really, I don't say put him in his place, but really give him, the proper thank you for
Well,
doing what he did.
Yeah, I agree.
He
needs to
didn't
come
have
back on.
He don't live. He's got no skin in the game. He's not from around here. Dude
That's
took
true.
how much time out of work, away from his family to do this? Come on.
You know, I couldn't actually put it into a time. He does so. I woke up to this video
Yeah.
you get now, and I got up at what 7:30, 6:30, whatever it was, and he made it at 1 o'clock last night. You know what I mean?
Let's do it
like,
together.
is it-
And yeah, just do it together.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah,
so
and there you go.
yeah, I did this last night. I was drunk at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, damn, that's good. First of all,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying your fourth, but he sends me a picture of where he's staying. I'm like, damn, dude. I mean, he's on the water. I'm like,
We'll
fucking
see
hey,
you
man.
Tuesday, maybe, right? Tuesday.
Yeah.
You
So
ready?
this is, yeah, I hope you are.
Oh, I can't wait.
No, we're not in it, but it's just good.
Yeah. No, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I
Yeah.
have wild turkeys around here, right? They're all over the place, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I saw a baby wild turkey. He looks like a little baby
Oh
duck.
yeah, yeah. Huh?
I
Cute
got
or
him,
what?
I got him on video.
Of course you do.
No, it was called feeding the ducks.
And just when you think they're about to break apart,
Quack attack is back, Jack!
ducks fly together.
And when the wind blows hard and the sky is black,
Ducks fly together!
And when the roosters are crowing and the cows are spinning circles in the pasture. Okay, the ducks fly together.
The Mighty Ducks are back.
well, it is.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
We're feeding ducks. Come here, duckies.
See me rolling, they hating.
Eat it. Eat it. Chew it. Swallow it.
Just eat it, just eat it, just eat it, just eat it.
Ooh, be nice. Don't bite my finger.
Ow! Ow, Charlie! Ow! Charlie!
Close one.
That really hurt!
No.
In the ducks.
Shit.
Don't bite my finger.
Charlie bit me. And that really hurt, Charlie, and it's still hurting.
You like that, duckies?
You like that? You like that?
Take it. You like that, duck?
But I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
We're best friends, duck.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
You want more?
You guys are fucking assholes, you know?
Don't be greedy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm talking to you people. You know, you greedy ass motherfuckers. That's what you are.
Don't be greedy.
You greedy ass motherfuckers.
I'm feeding the ducks. Come here, duckies. Eat it. Eat it. Chew it. Swallow it. I'm feeding the ducks. I'm feeding the ducks. Who?
Now we're the ducks.
Me?
I'd be a duck.
Feed
I'm behind.
the ducks? What about ducks?
Stop. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
It's goddamn ducks.
The ducks that preceded your losing consciousness.
That's when my whole body just had an out of experience of emotions.
At first, it felt like ginger ale in my skull.
I honestly didn't know what to do, and I, at one point, collapsed to the ground.
Feeding the ducks. I'm feeding the ducks. Who? Me? Feed the ducks?
Flipper.
I know it's at your forte. I understand, but for what it is, it's pretty fucking funny, man. I mean, just seriously.
Yeah.
Like imagine coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning
No.
and you go, I'm gonna make a video with a couple of pops of me, right?
In 2
I'm
seconds
gonna-
makes
I'm
it.
go-
I don't know how he does it, man.
Well, all the clips in this, like, how did you think about the movie scenes, the ducks, the kids, The Sopranos. Like, how the fuck you come up with that, dude?
Listen, just to get them clips alone, hours.
Right.
You just gotta have quick access to them.
So to the brain, right? You think about it, then you gotta find it, then you gotta put the music to it. Like how
Then you gotta put it together, all of it.
So tip my cap out to all the video makers out there. That shit's cray. Like it's hard, and to put a sequence together and have it make sense to everybody. Like it's pretty funny, you know. And that's a big shout out to Etsy.
Yeah, hold on. All right, I don't see you. There you are.
Oh,
there's Nan. Good morning, Nan.
Hey, how are you?
Ooh, you're a bit loud.
Am I? Let me check my microphone. Hold on.
And you back in New Jersey?
I am. I was in. I left Massachusetts because I was sick. I still am sick, but I had a blackout 2 nights ago, and I had to leave my office and stream from my dining room. Let me try to reduce the mic.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just have a cold. Is this is
that's
the volume any better? Is the volume any better?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, happy 4th.
Happy
Yeah.
4th.
We should make this tradition. Every 4th of July, we should do a stream together.
Are you inviting me to the dance, Mike? I'm
Yeah,
here. I'm
you've
here
always been
for
in
it.
Just show up. Yeah, keep showing up.
I would love that. So yeah, guys, somebody please tell me if the mic's all fucked up because
Nice, I'm good.
having
No, I hear
some
you.
tech issues.
I hear you good.
So I was literally in Massachusetts, including my drive, for like 36 hours. So I as soon as I got there,
You made it out okay, right?
yeah.
No felonies, no death penalty sentences, nothing like that.
You know, oh, by the way, Roselle is in the back. She's scintillated with seeking justice.
That's good.
But
I love dogs.
Soaking it in.
She's like just chilling in the background. But whenever I come up there, I take a rental car. I don't take one of my fleet of
Good.
luxury British and German vehicles.
Very smart.
But when I come up there, I'm not gonna lie, I always worry that I'm gonna catch a charge. So until the dust settles.
My God, really?
Isn't that horrible?
Well,
that's
a
horrible.
weird way to. You're just visiting Boston.
I know.
She's
a guest.
That's fucked up.
Mike, need I remind you of what happened the night after I met you in person?
Yeah, at CF McCarthy's back-to-back nights.
Yeah,
the sangria was flowing that night, from what I understand.
Let me be very clear about that because there's not much I can say about that evening as of the current moment. But I had 1 drink that night.
Okay.
So, and it was not sangria. It was a cosmopolitan in a tumbler.
And you were there for how long? 4 hours?
Oh, what? How long did I drink the 1 drink?
How long did it take to drink that 1 drink? Because that's a whole thing in itself, too. I mean,
yeah, it took me. I'm a sipper. I don't like ice. I have very sensitive teeth, so it probably took me every bit of 3 hours to drink the 1 drink. I think I ordered a ginger ale after that, and then we went somewhere else after that, and I ordered a ginger ale. But you know what I did do that night? I paid bills. And the trolls were really happy to take pictures of me paying bar tabs.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Where did they get those pictures from?
Well, you know, there's people. There's haters gonna hate, and also, you know, I just pay for people to be my friends.
That too. You get that's a big Mike. We missed out on that whole thing. You missed it. It was a whole.
Yeah. Did you? Is the check still in the mail from the last time you were here? Because I'm not quite sure if we received that one yet.
No, Mike.
Nan.
Yeah.
Is it unusual? I'm not sure if this is true, but I can see how it could be like just missed. Is it normal for the DA to pay the bills when the trial's completed? Completed? Okay.
Yes. So go ahead.
Dedham's has got reimbursed 0 from the first trial, even. All those detail cops that were there last trial 1.
Yeah, usually in municipalities. By the way, I'm I'm not really great with vision, but it's looking like your chat is saying Nan sounds sick. Yes, I do, but I actually sound worse than I feel. I feel great. I tried to run this
Yeah.
morning and that was a failure. That was an
Yeah.
utter failure. But anyway, and thank you everyone who said to feel better. I would really enjoy feeling better sometime soon. Normally municipalities and states and counties, they're usually anywhere from 60 to 120 days behind in paying bills. And on this point, Tommy, it's important to note that a lot of people say, oh, 200 something $1,000 was paid to Brennan. He wasn't paid for that trial yet. So his final number, there should be a FOIA request that goes in. Maybe not yet. It's probably not what we call ripe, RIPE, ripe yet. But in the next coming months, like 60 to 120 days out, someone should ask for all payments, fees, cost reimbursements, and expenses paid to Brennan and his paralegal, and if he has like a particular firm name. And it should be very particular to see what was paid to him, when it was paid to him, and how much. I see Mike. I see Tommy taking notes. He's like, done.
Yeah, he's the FOIA guy. I thought it happened a lot quicker. I mean, the way businesses like law firms, you're not doing business with the state. You submit a bill either via email or through the mail, snail mail, and then within 30 days you should receive that said transaction. But who knows?
Well, it's interesting. I heard from a little birdie that a certain bill was paid very quickly. Do you know what that was?
The bar bill from the VFW.
No, good. That's a good guess.
Well,
that's a really good guess. No, you know what it was? It was the Aperture bill.
Oh,
Aperture, from what I've been told, and I actually have I have some firsthand experience. I didn't realize it at the time of the trial, but I have firsthand experience with Aperture. That's a whole long story. I have not retained them, but they were retained on a case, a medical device case that involved biomedical engineering. But that was previously what Tommy,
what happened with that? Because that's what I was a biomedical engineer.
So in this case, in the case where I have since found out that I had a connection to Aperture as a co-defendant, in that case, there was an MRI. Well, it was twofold. There was an MRI machine, which is like a radiological diagnostic imaging machine for your audience who doesn't realize that. And then there was a cautery, which is essentially a device that burns. And an MRI was conducted. The MRI essentially failed during the conducting of the testing. And then following the MRI for a particular patient who had what I would call lesions on her nose region, they were to be removed by a cautery. And the cautery essentially combusted while the physician, one of the physicians who was a co-defendant on the case, was utilizing it. So he ended up essentially burning this woman's face off. Sorry, everybody, for the graphics. This is some of the interesting.
And that's just stuff you have to test. Nan, was it because of the bad ground?
Yes, that was one of the, because I dug back into the file.
I was like,
yeah,
never seen that one before. Was it, what kind of model was it? A Series 2000 S25?
Not Mike.
And it was off. It was an awful case, but Aperture was involved in evaluating, and I don't remember the specific tie between the MRI machine that failed and the cautery that failed, but there was a connection. This was 10 years. No, that wasn't 10 years ago. It was probably 5 years ago. But what ended up happening was Aperture had put together reports after testing the cautery, the ground, the MRI machine. They put together these reports, and then what happened was Aperture ended up being barred, BARRED. I'm not sure if I'm being clear. That's why I'm spelling stuff for your audience. They ended up being barred by the court because their opinions were found to be baseless. So Aperture does require, I remember in that case, Aperture required full payment prior to issuance of their reports, prior to any testimony.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It is.
Pay me first. Like, I got this. You gotta pay me up.
Right. And I mean, it's what's not atypical is I've had experts ask for partial payment before, and then on the delivery of a report, they'll ask for full payment. Or if I have to reserve experts for trial, they'll tell me it's $3,500 for half a day, 7,000. Oh, I'm glitching. See, everybody, Nan glitches. It's like clockwork. They'll say $7,000 for a full day of testimony if they have to hold the day. They'll ask for a deposit before the actual testimony. But the interesting part about Karen Reed's case is, and I mean, I think we can all agree, Brennan had to have approached Aperture and said, our case just went to shit. I need new opinions from you in light of the way that Karen's defense team shredded our theories. So what I have been informed from a little birdie was that Aperture essentially said, well, you're going to pay us, and then you're going to pay us a premium because we have to do a bunch of stuff on short notice. And it was the bulk of their bill.
If the emergency, yeah, you need it. There's extra.
Yeah, they held their opinions hostage, and they tacked on for the taxpayers essentially a rush fee, a desperation fee. I've scintillated Mike so much he just walked away.
Mike's a big guy. Mike knows that number.
Yeah. So
oh.
Yeah, so I mean, Aperture it's no joke. Like everyone should be up in arms up there about what they've done and the way they used and abused taxpayer dollars. Now, Aperture, they were just being greedy. I want to be very clear. In my opinion, it was malfeasance on the part of the county and the prosecutor. Yeah.
Nan, you're right. It is malfeasance.
Yep.
The problem we have is they've done it so that they're walking on that legal line where we can't charge them with that. And no one's going to waste their time because it's on that. But in Massachusetts, that line is actually, it's like a balance beam.
Yeah.
You start doing tricks and stuff on it. But then, it's just that beam is getting really wide for the DA where he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and also the DA, like I was talking on Mike Crawford's show a couple nights ago about my feelings about Morrissey and Brennan, but specifically as to Morrissey, not only should he resign, but the constituents of Norfolk or Norfolk County, as I like to refer to it, they should. And I don't like the word audit because I think it's been diluted in the course of Karen's case and diluted,
of course they've diluted it because look at what want to take a peek at what's going on in Canton.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to see that.
Audits are a necessary tool, but I feel based on my robust experience with audits, conducting them and enduring them, Norfolk County needs more than an audit. Norfolk County needs a full accounting of every dollar that was spent on the Karen Reed prosecution, and that started the day she was arrested, from the moment she was arraigned until the moment that she was acquitted, and thereafter. Because let's just, this is going to sound very small, but it matters to me. When you have Morrissey coming out with a statement post-trial, Brennan coming out with a statement post-trial, do you think they're doing those statements pro bono? No.
They're covering their ass with everything out of their mouth comes out of it is just to justify what they did and what they spent.
Right. So technically, Morrissey is on salary. So he probably just issued a CYA, statement after the trial. But Brennan would be what one would call a fee for service. I'm sure he, down to the last period on his press release, which was absolute garbage, as you guys would say. I'm sure he billed the county for that.
Oh, absolutely.
If he's doing a single thing, a single service post-trial, whether it's wrapping up his file, communicating with experts, communicating with any of the fact witnesses, talking to Tully, anything. If he is billing for those services, that is absolute malfeasance. He should not be spending a single dollar on this case whatsoever. I also would be interested in knowing what parts of Brennan's services from the time he was engaged in or about September of 2024 until the present date, what portion of those services in any way was attributable to him looking into or investigating or working on or pursuing information about Aiden Carney. So if you recall, right? So a few months ago, there was that famous day in court where Brennan tried to sneak a fast one past Karen's team, and she busts into the courtroom, and Flipper had made his wonderful video, which was amazing, and I listened to it all the time.
Love it.
That particular day, Brennan was going after Turtle Boy. He was collaterally going after did someone say something about my mic? I don't know, but
No, they're talking about this
Oh.
comment here. Their taxes went up $103 a month after the
wow.
break.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry about that, Missy Eric. I am tempted. I'm tempted if I get my bar admission in time and I can establish sufficient residency running for DA up there. But that's a pipe dream because I have roots here for now. But
All
you
right.
guys need somebody to step up.
You never know. Someone may say, "We have an office or two ready for you, Nan."
Man.
Oh, you never know.
Well, you know what? Your constituents up there might want to suggest some type of special master or an overseer of the DA. So, if, for example, if if Morrissey wins the election and God rue that day,
Yeah.
maybe the constituents can ask for some type of referendum to be added to the ballot that says if he wins, we want someone to oversee him because he has ruled, from my observation and what I've learned, with absolute power for like 40 years,
Yes.
unchecked.
Yep.
So, I truly hope that taxpayers and voters step up and show up at the ballots and really send a clear message. And I had some pretty strong, salty opinions for Juna Perkins, who seems to be.
Yep. That's who's running for the DA.
I would encourage you both, if, very rarely would I say, watch what I streamed on, but I would encourage you both to see my thoughts, and any of your viewers to see the thoughts I had for Juna Perkins on Mike Crawford's show 2 days ago. I think it was Wednesday night. I've lost track of days, but yeah, I think it was Wednesday night because I really feel like she missed an opportunity in terms of not showing up for Karen's trial, not being more publicly vocal in terms of Morrissey's missteps.
At what point does she walk in and then make it look like she's using a tragedy for a political step?
You know what? Can I speak to that? Can I? Yeah. I'm caffeinated enough to bring a little heat when I answer that question, Tommy.
Here comes the snark. Here comes the snark, people.
Snark alert. Snark alert. This is not directed to you, Tommy. But I am so sick and tired of people thinking that when somebody perceivably swoops in and has a purpose, whatever that is. I mean, God, more people should have purpose. Someone who swoops in and has a purpose and is trying to achieve something, that they are capitalizing, attention seeking, looking to gain something for themselves, creating an optic that they're, trying to make their mark on a tragedy or take advantage of a tragedy, excuse me. Coming in at the last minute and in any way are less entitled to be there. I don't care if Juna Perkins, who by no means am I saying she's your candidate, folks, by no means should she spend a moment of real estate in her mind, saying, well, I don't want to look like I'm, swooping in on a tragedy or attention seeking. It's all interconnected. This is absolute bullshit. I don't care when anyone steps in, even if they have a purpose of bringing attention to themselves, or if she says, well, yeah, this is my opportunity. I'm going to make it look like Morrissey ruined everything with Karen Reed, and maybe that will advance me in my professional career. Maybe she's thinking that. Who the hell cares? The net result is Morrissey will stand a better chance of getting kicked in the ass and kicked out of office, and maybe things will improve. So it's all kind of interconnected, and I get really, really salty about it, Tommy. So if Juna Perkins in any way, shape, or form says, well, I don't want to create that optic, well, then you're not the right person for the position, because you need someone who doesn't fucking give a shit in that position.
She's not the right person then. And I hate the
maybe
words out of my mouth. I can tell you now she's not.
Right. I mean,
easy way.
I don't want to malign someone who's stepping up and trying to make change. But what I will tell you guys is, if she's kind of like, here's the example. The other night when I was talking on the Young Jerks, and Mike kind of made a comment, and he's like, well, I said she should have showed up for part of Karen Reed's case. She should show up for Turtle Boys. She should just be boots on the ground a little bit. And he said, and he wasn't advancing a position. He was kind of devil's advocating with me. And he said, well, she has like a law practice and a full-time job. And I was like, I have a full-time job. I'm 4.5 hours away on a good day, and I've showed up there. I'm not saying I'm a hero, but what I'm saying is, if I can get there, she can get there.
Absolutely.
And I think it's foreshadowing, and not good foreshadowing for someone like me. If you've got a potential candidate who is making excuses at this point, because you can't make excuses right now. If you want something, then you go and get it. And also, if she can't stand up and take a stand and be more public, be more vocal for something that she perceivably truly wants, and she wants career advancement, maybe she wants to, add this to her resume, maybe she feels she's the right candidate for the job. But if she really wants it, then she really needs to stand up to everyone in that county who's going to try to push her down. Because I'm using the word when, I mean, it might be when she wins, or if she wins the election, she's going to have to stand up to everybody. The assistant prosecutors in her office, the police who are going to try to influence her on prosecuting cases, the medical examiners, the families of victims and victims of crimes. Like, you need someone in any DA position who is strong enough to withstand the heat. And if she can't stand the heat, then she needs to get out of the kitchen of Norfolk County, and there needs to be a new candidate really quickly. I heard through the grapevine there was another potential candidate, though.
And people say, well, yeah, we have Morrissey, we have to get him out. Absolutely true. And in order to do what needs to be done, you need a special type of person to walk in there and have almost a better than attitude. We need a cocky, confident, engaged, someone who's plugged in. I don't see what I was hoping to see even after the trial. And here's the problem. She will not criticize the governor or anyone like that. She will not go up that tree. And without going up that tree, you're getting nothing done.
I feel like I've made a lot of enemies in my career by criticizing people who are either peers of mine, equals of mine, higher ups than me. But I will never, ever be ashamed or regret doing that. I do speak up. I am opinionated. It's all about intentions. If your intentions are good, if you're not being personal about it, and if you ultimately want to create change that improves everyone, for the greater good of all, or with the least casualties of all, you're doing what's best for the most people. And I look at that in a very military sense, of which I don't have any firsthand experience. But when you have generals charging into battle, or telling their armies and militias to charge into battle, that general knows there's going to be casualties of his team. He knows, or he or she knows that. But when he does that, he knows, I'm going to lose these people along the way, but I'm going to save the greater good. And I feel like these types of principles I'm talking about matter when it comes to public administration and holding these public elected positions or even appointed positions. You have to be able to say what's going to benefit the greater good. And after everything that was endured with Karen, and now what Aiden is facing, which in some respects are even more critical public interests, more critical constitutional issues, ones that go even beyond.
For crying out loud, man.
Yeah, like
he writes. That's his job.
Yeah, and I caught some of his interview with Runkle yesterday.
Really good. Yep.
Yeah, like they at one point, and it wasn't much of it. I was gonna listen to it while I was running, but that was a failure. But part of their interview yesterday, they were talking about how Aiden is advancing the First Amendment. He's a journalist. He wants to speak up and ask questions. Some of them ruffle feathers. Not everyone loves Aiden Carney. Okay. But what the result of that, or the reaction to that, should be, and they were talking about this, shouldn't be, we're going to hit you with witness intimidation charges. The result of it should be that other people who don't like what he's saying, i.e. the McAlberts or Buchanan or any of the others who claimed they were intimidated by him, Proctor, etc.
Right.
The proper result from a constitutional standpoint should be that they speak up and say, I don't like what he did to me. I don't like the manner in which he interviewed me or shouted things in a courtyard to me. That's their First Amendment right, not using or weaponizing statutes which are poorly written to fire them off at him. And now look at how many charges he's still facing. Thank God some were dismissed. And the constitutional issues that he is facing, the greater public value of the charges that he is facing, we have a vested interest. I say we because I'm not up there, but I feel like we as those who support his mission, we have a vested interest in a favorable outcome and an acquittal on the charges facing him, because you guys, for all you could say something on Seeking Justice that Jennifer McCabe doesn't like, and all of a sudden you're getting slapped with a citation that you witness intimidated her. So there's, and by the way, I'm not suggesting that, Tully. If you're, all right, let me make sure, if you're listening, Tully, don't come after Seeking Justice. They're my sports center.
Wow.
But at this point, there's so much riding on what Aiden is facing, and by no means am I discounting what Karen has gone through.
No.
But everyone should care about that. And if you can't find a candidate up there who's willing to step up for those important social issues, oh, there we go. If you can't stand up for those important social issues, then it's time for a big change, something more than an audit, something more than just lip service. We all need to have just a stronger voice, and I won't stop if I feel like I might be able to help just a little bit in trying to inspire change up there. And to those who have criticized me recently about, Nan's moving on to her next grift or her next opportunity to seek attention.
What? To the 30 people up here who are just begging for help? Yeah.
Respectfully, fuck you all who say that. You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but I should keep this PG because we're in the 9 o'clock hour.
Don't matter now, man. Good.
That was a
Man,
good speech.
I remember a while back when I did FOIA requests, they said that I could actually physically come down and inspect the bill.
Yep.
Am I able to do that with this case? I can physically. I want an appointment. I don't want a return saying you can't find the documents. I'll find the documents. Am I allowed to physically touch them and look at them?
Yes. Usually, first of all, that's usually done by written request from you. Okay. So if
I would like to go down that road.
And then also it is typically done, what's the word? Like it's done under observation. Like
Yeah.
I've actually sat and watched attorneys go through documents on FOIA requests. So you can't sit in a room and sit there and ruffle through stuff. Like you'd be observed while you're doing it. It does not necessarily mean that you're able to record, photograph, any of it. Like usually you'll get a copy of something, but you can't sit there and say, let me take a picture of this. But yes, you have a right to physically inspect things. And with all of the gamesmanship that was going on with the metadata and all of the whatever, all the electronic data that got fucked with
Right.
in Karen's case. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of hopped up on cold meds. With all of that, I'm confident that some of the stuff being released from Norfolk County is completely it's not accurate. And someone's going to have to prove me wrong on that.
And that's why I want to get into the usually it's an office or a conference room, and I think they bring out a package of bills. Here you go. Look at them. Now what do you need next? So I'd like to get into that because I don't trust them in any way. Nan, all the video that we see has all been altered and whatnot. Nothing is what it seems. Not in this county.
It's been magic, and I don't use that as a compliment. It's all about what is the illusion that's happening right before your eyes, and
right.
Now there's a kink in the armor. Now that Karen was acquitted, and regardless of the stupid OUI charge, which is nothing, you could line a hamster cage with it. Now there's an open. It's an opportunity. You are all at what is called a watershed moment. That this moment in time is where, even though it may feel from a societal standpoint that there's a letdown here, and okay, we now aren't watching the trial every day. We're not talking about all the issues every single day. Everyone in that community should, in my opinion, use this harnessed energy, the adrenaline, which is still there but might be waning a little bit, and use it to redirect and refocus on looking at the county, looking at the malfeasance, the misrepresentations, the deception, the egregious expenditures, all of it, looking at how there was prosecutorial misconduct. So even though Judge Bev in Karen's case denied the defense motion to dismiss for egregious prosecutorial misconduct, that's her opinion. That doesn't mean that any of the arguments that Karen's team made are any less valid. She just doesn't have to appeal Bev's decision now. But someone should be saying, look at all of this. Look at what happened with all of the metadata and the expert data analysis and all of the electronic files, the missing videos, the missing video streams from the library, the missing Ring videos, looking at all of that, not letting all that Karen went through to fight tooth and nail to just get to the truth, not letting that settle. In fact, I would dare say Morrissey is probably, not that he's happy with the verdict or happy with that she was, acquitted and this is going to go away. He's probably just happy that in his mind, okay, there doesn't have to be an appeal of this, so it's over. And he'll wonder in his mind if the feds are still looking. The feds are still looking, Meatball. And to Rafferty, the feds are still looking. You will never prove me wrong on that. I do not believe in any way, shape, or form the feds ever stopped looking into this. But Morrissey thinks like he's breathing a sigh of relief. As much as he doesn't like the verdict, he's probably like, okay, it's over. So keep the heat on him. You have such a groundswell up there of people who were so interested in Karen's outcome, many of whom are interested in Aiden's outcomes in the future. So keep the lens focused on the corruption, the malfeasance, all of it now. Keep it, the adrenaline pumping, and I'll help however I can.
So,
Wow.
is there like a residency requirement to be a DA?
That varies county to county and state to state. So I do not know what Norfolk County requires. Generally, there is an in-county requirement of residency, but I don't think you need a full-time residency. Like, for example, if someone were to get admitted to the bar up there and someone were to rent a residence.
Mike's office. Mike's got office there, office space.
Mike, you have office space up there?
Yeah, I'm in my office right now.
Wait, but wait, that's in your home?
Yeah, my upstairs above my garage, my office.
That's his freaking shed. Don't.
You have an office. I have an office. I have an office.
He's got an office, all right.
That's so funny. Are you above your garage? My parents, before they passed, they had a room over their garage, and they used to call it the Frog, the finished room over garage. So you're in the Frog right now. I love it.
The contractor called it a bonus room. It was a bonus that we threw in to make me feel like we got something for nothing.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wonder
I started using it. Yeah.
I wonder if you'd be interested in subleasing that.
Yeah, I have an office downstairs too with a library in it.
What kind of books? We don't have to talk about that online.
My wife's, but I would say they're probably left-leaning political books.
I love it, left-leaning. I love it. Well, So like, and then my next question is: if a DA gets hired, can the DA then hire the staff and say, "I want you. You're in charge of going to do this, and you're in charge." Can you do appointments like that? Special.
Can the DA hire staff? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, for whatever you want them people to do. Can you make a whole new department like?
Yes.
Okay, so like bogus invoice department. Employees sleeping on the job department.
Yes. But also generally, from my experience, when there's a change at the helm of a district attorney, the new district attorney will evaluate the competency of his or her existing team, down to not only the attorneys, but the support staff, the paralegals. They'll, because it's a public entity, there's probably annual or biannual performance reviews. He or she will review those, see if there's productivity issues or deficiencies. And it's the responsibility, from my experience, of a DA to clean house. He can make recommendations to the county and say, I want to get rid of these people, or we're overstaffed. I'd actually be interested in a FOIA request asking for performance reviews. I don't know if you'll get them, but performance reviews of all of the ADAs, the assistant district attorneys, in Morrissey's office. And the reason I would want to see that is because if there are favorable performance evaluations for the ADAs in his office, and from what I've been told, and I'm sure your audience has been told that as well, there was sufficient number of attorneys working in the office. They didn't need to hire Brennan. So he spent taxpayer dollars without the taxpayers' approval, hired Brennan for God knows whatever reason he did, and wasted their money. But if there were sufficiently skilled attorneys working within his office, and they were getting favorable performance reviews and, let's presume, normally expected increases in salary at whatever percentage rate over whatever duration of time, then why did he hire Brennan? And also, if I were Juna Perkins, man, she's going to hate me. But if I were Juna Perkins, I'd be looking into that. I'd be looking into that now because there's a primary coming up at some point. I don't know when. But I would want to know every single weakness of my enemy. I would want to be able to attack him not only down to his poor judgment and his abuses of discretion, expenditures, etc., poor decision making, all of it. I would want to be able to have the receipts. And when I come forward against anyone who I'm looking to dismantle or tackle, I bring the receipts. And sometimes revenge is a dish best served cold.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Mikey, you okay over there?
Yeah, no, I have a question. I didn't know if you were going to go.
Yeah, I'm just
rambling. So, Mike,
no,
sleep?
No. I'm sitting back, just sitting here,
I get a
listening
question,
to what you say.
so I'll throw it out there while I go get coffee.
Go ahead.
Just trying to think of how to word it correctly.
I'm hitting mute. I'm hitting mute while I cough. Your audience does not need to hear this. Hold on.
I have a great. Go ahead, Tommy. Go get coffee. I can take it.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Yeah. So
okay,
I'm sitting here listening to you talk, and I see your business background coming out. Like yes, I can see your business mind twirling. Like how I would break this down, because you're breaking down numbers, but you're breaking down people's performances. You're breaking down track histories. Could you be talking about personalities? Do they get along with each other? What's the ethos like inside of the ADA's office? It's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts to fix this. And I try to look at it like, okay, if I was Noble, like I brought in to replace the state police head, he went from state police New Jersey, like yourself, to state police in Mass. Okay. He went in and it was turnkey. He just got into the chair. He had a phone, a computer, and some people that reported to him. And he would just, okay. It doesn't seem to me like he's changed anything dramatically in the process. Your responses to that. What do I need to change to make the ship stir? And you can only change an ocean liner. When you turn it, it moves slow, right? It's not going to move like at a 90. But the ADA office could turn on a pivot because it's not as big as this Mass State Police with 2,000 plus employees, right?
That's right.
So I'm like, okay, man, you're speaking my language, and like a person with your energy at 9 o'clock in the morning, by the way, is phenomenal. I love it.
Oh my God.
But you're thinking clear. You're thinking clear. Like, and that's what we don't. Now you got me thinking about this Perkins lady. How do you see your first name?
It's like D-J-U-N-A, Juna. I think it's pronounced Juna.
Perkins, right?
Yeah, I need to meet with her.
All right. So let's say she goes ahead and gets the position, but we as a party of Norfolk, we can make a party of, of politics or whatever you want to call it, and say, listen, one of the stipulations is we want State Attorney Gallagher to be part of your, transformation inside that office, because we understand that it's going to be work overload. People are going to be coming at you at 50 miles an hour, and you want to do the best job you can. Who's assigning cases? Who's taking care of what's going on? Mike Morris, he's been there 32 years.
Ugh.
He just walks in. He doesn't talk to. He's got people making decisions for him every single day. He doesn't care as long as at the end of 30 days every month, he looks back and say, okay, we had 45 DUIs. We won 20 of them, or whatever it might be.
Right.
There was 8 murders, 4 cleared. I get all that. So what would be one of the, other than rank and file state troopers? They are rank and file frontlines people. They're out there knocking on doors, getting ring cameras. Do you start there? Go right back down to I'm going to show you how to tie your shoes again. And we're going to undo them. I'm going to show you where I want your shoes tied, like to the state police. Now that's another department with Noble. And now you're talking unions. You're talking all kinds of bullshit that you're going to have to go through. So I know it's a lack of leadership of Morrissey, but he's got that boat going, and it's 15 miles an hour, and it's heading to the Bahamas, and we want to turn it off and go back to Bermuda, so to speak, and like it's not gonna happen in 4 years. It's gonna take term after term of changes and small policy changes to get that ship corrected.
I
don't think
know.
I don't think it's a 4-year stint. It's gonna be like 12-year stint.
Yeah, I
Are we
know.
are we committed to make that happen? I mean, anything's gonna be better than, hey, Morrissey's out. We want changes. Like, he's not gonna go in and spend the big beautiful bill and get that passed in his first 200 days in office or what have you. And we're all seeing the benefits of it and tax breaks and all this other shit. It's a whole different animal, and it's like, yeah, you can expect things to happen verbiage wise, but when you're actually gonna see the policies written
Yeah.
and held accountable to holding people accountable in that office, I think is one of the biggest things. I think I think it's a free for all over there. People just do what they want. The people in charge have been there too long. They're compromised, and either they owe people favors, or people cover for them, or they got there through them. They're married to the right people, things like that. I don't think it's a fair political pool in there where people that are better suited to do the job that someone else is doing, but can't get there because the person in front of them has nepotism involved.
Yes. Not just
Okay.
that. If, for example, say Nan walks in and puts her name on the ballot, they will absolutely find somebody who is a yes man and throw that person up in just
Oh
like
yeah.
the machine.
that's-
Mike. It's the
Those are
machine.
the things that I struggle with. And then so you chop the head off the snake. Now you got to filter down through the whole body. But again, it's going to take longer than 4 years. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, no, these are really good insights that you have, Mike. And it
Just
when
one other point, real quick.
Go
Before you
ahead.
go, before we go on.
Before you wind me up.
No, yeah, I know. I'm getting wound up because I'm into I like this. And like, is there, looking back, I don't expect to have an answer in my head now today, but like, could you hire a firm like Aperture? I'm kidding. Could you hire a firm with the transition? Hire a bunch of people, lawyers that come in that are a consulting group and say, hey, listen, we work with government, state in the states, federal at this level. We help construct a team of ADAs inside of a department that
Right.
you can, that's what you might have to do. Like, spend the $3 million up front, have these consultants come in that and they could weed through performance reports, like you said, and say, hey, listen, it's time for you to go to the private sector. Hey, it's time for you to move up and be, fourth ADA in line. Things like that. I don't know if that
Right.
exists. Like, how do we get?
It does.
Not at a state level.
What do you mean, Tommy? Not at a state level?
They've set the system up that what Mike's talking about to properly look at performance, and you do everyone's job. You need to be a supervisor. That isn't
Yeah.
the case.
I understand. I get it. That's what I'm afraid of. Like, you have a guy that's married into the family, so to speak, and he's
Right.
and like any police department, if you got some suction with somebody, you have a dime to call somebody, like, hell, he's married to so and so's daughter. I get that. It's gonna happen. Nepotism is natural. But when you're trying cases at a win-loss variation, like, okay, we need to win this one. This guy did something fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And this guy can do it. And he's, the 15th, but you get a number 2 sitting there going,
Yeah.
I want my 2 in there. Why am I picking 15? Take the 15 and move up to 5, or, eventually. But that's what I would take the knowledge of like yourself coming in with a clean slate. You don't know anybody.
How's
All
this
you're looking is numbers. You're looking at black and white numbers. Here's Tommy, here's Mike. Tommy has 15 wins, 3 losses. Mike has 10 wins and 7 losses. I'm going with Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy's a better lawyer.
Well, and also one additional factor to what what you're talking about is your county, Mike, can now anticipate that there will be, in my opinion, a mass exodus of assistant district attorneys from that office. There's people who are working there who probably never laid eyes or touched the Karen Reed case, but they're like, you know what? We don't want in any way to be associated with Michael Morrissey because we're forecasting his downfall.
Radioactive.
So that means from a risk evaluation, risk assessment perspective, a loss of an appreciable number of assistant district attorneys will also place Norfolk County at risk, because you're going to lose manpower even for the short term. And some of those attorneys, most district attorneys, I think Betterow might even say this. I mean, there's career prosecutors, and then there's ones who are just looking to kind of cut their teeth, get some trial experience, and move on. There's some people who just want to pad their resume and say, hey, I was a DA for a little while.
Right.
And move along. But I think there's going to, sorry about that. There's going to be a lot of prosecutors who leave that office. For example, I think Lally is going to leave. I think McLaughlin is going to leave. And they're like, not even the ones I'm really talking about. I think the unnamed ones, none of them who were willing to step up to prosecute Karen, they're just going to leave. So I think there's going to be a major gap in the workforce. As far as what you're talking about, though, in terms of, I loved, it was almost like a Titanic type of metaphor you gave, which is like the ship is not going to turn very quickly, and it's going to hit the iceberg. And by the way, if the ship is headed toward the Bahamas, I'd like to get on it.
You're driving it.
I need a little vacation. I really do. But change takes more than 4 years. In fact, and I say this from business experience. I became a business owner in 2016. And that was after being a worker bee for 15 years before that. And it took a lot of fear and bravery and anxiety to make that decision to go into business for myself. And when I did that, that's when I learned business. And since I learned how to run a business, I think I'm pretty good at it. But once I became good at it, I now run another business as a chief operating officer. It's not my business. I'm the chief operating officer for a national organization.
Right.
In that capacity, I know that you have to look at the things you're talking about, Mike. The workforce, the bandwidth, the numbers, the black and whites of it all without passion or prejudice. Look at it. Forecast what's going to happen in the future. Say to yourself, okay, we spent this much on this, or these people are interrelated, or this is a major weakness or vulnerability for our entity. What can we do to mitigate that risk? And in doing all of that, chief operating officers are disimpassioned. We look at things from almost like a just stone cold, we don't give a shit about anything else. We just want to see the data.
Right.
Perspective. That's what your county needs. Some counties have that. They essentially have a quote chief operating officer.
Yep.
And I'm putting it in quotes because that's not what it's called. It's I've seen it called in different jurisdictions. Comptroller, right, Tommy? There's comptrollers. There's I've seen special
different pay rates is all it is.
It is. I've seen special masters appointed as it relates to law, departments. So you have the prosecutor's office, a special master can be appointed to oversee it. Your county, Mike, could engage an outside consulting firm, but I'm not even suggesting that. You kind of just need somebody with business perspective to look at the cold hard numbers and outcomes and look at the crimes, look at the patterns of crimes that are being committed and say, okay, we're seeing a lot of racially charged hate crimes here, or there's firearm possessions,
more drugs in this area, more homicides in this area,
right?
More BEDs in this area. Why do I have murder cops when I don't have a murder in my county, but I have all these B&Es and drug activity? Why do I need murder cops? I just give me the So placement of people is huge. And how do you get the right people to work for you? Well, I would put a pay freeze in place for 4 years while I'm there and say no one's getting a raise. You either stay with me or you're gone. That's how you're gonna weed out the hacker rims, the ones that are there for the check, oh shit, I'm going to go to the Middlesex office, I'm going to go to the Plymouth office, the Bristol office, and try to get an AD. And they're there for the pension in 25 years.
Yes.
They're there to just hang on to a coattail. They might suck at what they do, but we filled the slot. We have ADA Mike in number 17. We need 20. We need 3 more. I feel that's how it's run up there. And I'm looking from 10,000 feet. You look at results. I wish I had all the hard numbers. Like, what did you guys prosecute this month, and what was your win failure rate?
That's right. And there's a saying, the lion does not concern himself with the opinions of his sheep, right?
Yes.
And that's Morrissey.
I love that.
Yeah.
Morrissey is the lion. He's an enormous lion. Let me be very clear. It's the largest lion ever walking the planet. But nonetheless, this large lion that does not concern himself with the opinions of his sheep. And what does that mean? It means that the leader doesn't actually care about the opinions of his followers. And by followers, I'm not only referring to the constituents of Norfolk County, but also the ADAs, the assistant district attorneys working in his office. He is ruling with omnipotence. It is absolute power, his way or the highway. I'd be interested in knowing, and if I were doing a FOIA request, Tommy, wink, wink, I would want performance reviews for Michael Morrissey for his...
Who would do his?
Exactly.
Healy.
As AJ said when he was cross-examining, who was it? God, I don't remember. It was a wonderful moment from 1.0, and he said exactly. Yeah, who would be doing his? So generally, there in municipalities, there is some structure for performance evaluations of the
Massachusetts Attorney General.
Okay.
And I can get his prior ones because they don't have anything to do with any trial or nothing, right?
So
That's right.
I know the lady's name. Maybe the AG, right? You guys, what's her name? She's a black lady. I forget her name. She does not have any skin in the game. She could care. She made 1 or 2 tweets about the Karen Reed trial. Has not said anything nefarious about Michael Morrissey. Just she again. Hackorama. Now, all the AGs for Massachusetts have gone on to become governor. He was one.
Right.
Andrea Campbell.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
Andrea
sorry.
Campbell.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's her. And she hasn't done anything. Nothing. Except cheer on Pride Month. Like,
well,
legit,
by the way, I'm surprised I don't really follow her, but I'm surprised she didn't even come out after the verdict, like publicly, and say something.
Right.
No.
She
Interesting.
had a tweet. Yeah. Noble didn't do anything. Again, it was all internal. The only thing Noble did, I'll get him. He got rid of Proctor. He had to come in and do something, right? Here I am. I'm on the show. It's gone. All right. Go. He made a decision. Someone, DE hire, right?
Yeah.
But, it's crazy. I don't know fully the gravity of political positioning within the state. Like, okay, is Andrea Campbell compromised some way? Is she just going to ride this out? Just keep her head down?
Like,
Don't make a bump in the road?
Anybody who has not said or done anything for Enrique in the past almost 10 months now, you're all fired. Unacceptable.
I agree. And I would also, I'm by the way, I'm looking at another computer. I'm actually looking at Andrea Campbell's kind of Wikipedia. I'm looking at her what Wikipedia has to say about her. I don't have a vested interest in her experience other than to say she sure sounds like she could step up a little bit and do more, especially if she's the AG in a state where there was the hackorama of Karen Reed and the wasting of taxpayer dollars on Aidan Carney's matters as well. I'll make an offer to your county, which is if the constituents of Norfolk County want to engage me pro bono, which means for no service, for no fee, this is no grift, I'm happy to um oversee, not that's probably not the right word, just evaluate, counsel, consult with whomever overthrows Morrissey. I'm happy to take on that role and just oversee and see if I can help from a business consulting standpoint. I don't need to live there to do it. It would be like it's just a consulting position and I wouldn't charge for it. But I think there needs to be a business overhaul of how that's managed. Yes, Tommy, go. You don't need to raise your hand on your own channel. Just tell me to shut the fuck up.
I think we can make this happen, Nan. And do you think it would be a little more beneficial / helpful? Because this is part of the audience now, to form an actual 501c3, and then we can hire you as a legitimate consultant. Because when I cleaned up the schools, I had to get an LSP, so we used our nonprofit, and he was hired for free pro bono to help us clean up all the soil.
Yeah, I mean, your county, by the way, it's so funny. I just got an email from a hotel in the Bahamas, which must have heard me say I want to go to the Bahamas. So I'm seeing all the signs. But anyway, yeah, I mean, if you're a voter, I don't know if this would even be permissible by either the attorney general or maybe whomever overthrows Meatball. They may not want a consulting service overseeing them. That's not the right word. It's not, oh, big sister is watching. But if the constituents of that county said, we want somebody to kind of take a look and see if things are being managed properly, and it's really just advisory. It's not like,
right, you're not gonna write policy for them.
I mean, I could.
Yeah,
someone could, but it
needs to.
Yeah, but it's kind of either writing policies, giving advice, but not disciplining, not issuing bad performance reviews. It's more of like a business advisor. Hey, I think your department sucks. Like, you guys are wasting money on this, or why are you prosecuting these cases, or why is it taking so long for this, or why is your staff abusing all of its earned sick leave, or
system is so broken. Are you ready for this? It is so broken that Farwell, the one that was involved,
Matthew
Matthew, who was involved with Senior Birchmore, there's no policy in the handbook that says while you are on the clock, you are not to have sexual relations. So because he was on the clock and sending dirty pictures and engaging in sex while on duty, because that's not in the policy, he can't get in trouble for it. And
that is so ridiculous.
And if you try and put that in the policy, the police union, they're just gonna stop doing what they do.
I swear to God, like, the fact that that's actually true is bothering me to no end. No way can you have a codification of every rule that is reasonable, common sense. Like, for example, let me give you an example, because you guys are a fun morning show and I don't want to keep you. So if you want to,
we're good.
If you want to hang up, but here's a little side story. Okay, so when I was a baby lawyer, there was a law firm that was just, another law firm. I knew a lot of lawyers there, and they did a lot of cases where they were co-defendants on my cases. There was 2 attorneys in that office who really liked each other. I did not work there, but they really liked each other. And they used to stay after hours and spend time with each other. And it was pretty well known in the community. And I remember just kind of being a baby lawyer going, wow, like, this is a rude awakening to career life. I can't believe I'm hearing about this stuff. So one night, these 2 attorneys were getting to know each other on a desk in their law firm. in the evening. Mike's looking around going like, what does that mean? They were just really exploring one another on top of a desk in this law firm. Well, it also happened to be the desk of the head partner of the law firm. So the head partner, who happened to pop back in that night, found these two on his desk getting to know each other and really exploring their legal briefs, I will say. So they were both fired. Both of those attorneys sued that law firm for wrongful termination by saying that there was no rule in place for fraternization or, romantic relationship, etc. And there was no rule that you can't engage in lewd and lascivious behavior on a desk.
While getting paid.
While getting paid. They ended up winning. They won. They got their jobs back, which they were, ultimately they refused their jobs back, but they got their jobs back. They got back pay with prejudgment interest, and they got pain and suffering, emotional distress damages, and then future income loss because their reputations were harmed. And that's ridiculous. I cannot believe that case happened, but it's kind of in line with what you're saying, Tommy. But in addition to that, as a side note, that head partner, from that day on, from the day after he found them on his desk, he converted every single desk in his firm to a standing desk. And this is back, so I was young. I'm not no longer young. But this was back in 2002. So this was after my clerkship. 2002. Every single desk, which is kind of early for this to happen. This is probably very common now, but every single desk that was in that firm was made a standing desk. So everyone had to stand at their desk and work moving forward because the guy was so appalled that he found two people doing legal briefs together on his desk. But I remember thinking at the time, as I was kind of getting my feel as to what kind of law I wanted to practice and how I wanted to comport myself as an attorney, I remember thinking, that lawsuit and that verdict made no sense to me. Because there was no written policy that you can't get busy with another a co-employee at the firm and get paid for it. They won, and because it's just ridiculous. So I went off on a tangent. Maybe I've given your audience a little entertainment this morning, but as far as Farwell is concerned, I mean, that's also ridiculous. He was receiving pay. Even you can correlate this to Proctor. Proctor was presumably either working, being paid, whatever. He was investigating Karen's case, but within the first 24 hours of the incident, he's firing off investigation-related information to his buddies. Right, with bias and objectifying Karen. All of this type of misconduct, which I guess would be the right way to say it, while receiving pay or salary, is something that needs to heavily be looked at. And it's ridiculous that everything, the expectation that everything has to be written in writing. You can't write everything in writing. Your policies would be absolute tomes. You can't.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I actually agree with the lawsuit.
Oh, shut up, Mike. I'm gonna sneeze on you and get you sick. Tell me why.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why. Because it's more rampant than you think. It's out there in a lot of private businesses, not so much the ADA's office. We'll just take that out of the play. That's
human nature. Guys, girls.
Red tape.
That's gonna.
Right? You have to vote that in, vote that up the changes. When you have a private business like an attorney or law firm, if you write the policies out or have a consultant team come in and say, listen, I need a policy where this might happen, and they come in, they do all your sexual policies, right? That's an easy fix. Everybody signs off on the book. They know what's right from wrong. The owner could have easily done that, but didn't. maybe it was new back then. I don't know, but
Right.
it's rampant with relationships with coworkers, and to protect said coworker, if you don't have that in place, you don't have the right to fire somebody as a private business.
I respect your opinion on that. If you've made a good argument, I'm going to make you an honorary associate in my law firm.
I just there's a yin and a yang, right? You push pull. It's like, okay, I see your point. You make in my consciousness of mind and guilt. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that at my boss's desk. And he took it personally because it was his desk.
Right.
He's paying for that time
Right.
set on desk.
Yeah.
He's looking at it going, "You're I can see it happening.
He
You're
flipped.
fired." Right?
He flipped out.
Flip the lid. Flip the lid. This is going to be the talk of all the attorneys throughout the whole town. What am I doing? Well, how do you make somebody feel pain without actually touching them? Is in their wallet.
Yes.
With that check they want to write, with how many zeros on it, when they sign that, that hurts more than any slap in the face. So when that attorney of the law firm had to write a check for all those
the back pay and all of that stuff.
That's a big number, I would imagine.
Yep.
And you can't undo the emotional, you can't undo the future pay, because that's just a number grabbed out of a trending number that's gradually going up. But it could be a downtime with that, but it goes down, but they don't think of it that way. But it's a good argument to make in a court. I think there's a lot of push and pull on that. I mean, as a state-run agency, I think you should be black and white. You cannot.
Right, like non-fraternization.
Can't have that.
You know, it's interesting also. I imagine that the prosecutor's office up in Norfolk County has a policy and procedure manual. Right. And so does the Massachusetts State Police. They probably have different types of manuals. They probably have, we call them P&Ps, policy and procedure manuals, and then they probably have an employment manual or a employee manual. I've even seen them call employee handbooks.
Right.
So if I were making a FOIA request, I would want to know all of those and see what those say. But as far as those any policy and procedure manual or handbooks are concerned in general, the way to properly prevent malfeasance, misconduct, abuses of discretion, having anyone slide through the cracks on a technicality is to make sure that there are policy and procedure manuals or handbooks that are written broadly enough with enough vague language throughout them that everything's covered, like everything's included. Like in the example I was giving about that law firm where the people were looking at legal briefs at night, had there been a policy that even was either non-fraternization or it said it is expected that only work is to be done on desks or something that just encapsulates broad strokes as to what should or should not happen. When I write policies, which is probably more often than I'd like to, broader is better. Be, as I call it, quote, sufficiently vague. If you're vague enough and broader in what you're trying to proscribe or prevent in terms of conduct, it prevents, it covers everything. And it gives you a clear path if you need to discipline someone, terminate them, fire them, etc.
So I equate it to the investigation of Michael Proctor and the firing of Michael Proctor. Now, if I was Michael Proctor and they didn't have a policy and procedure in place about how my investigation was supposed to run from the time I took it at 7 o'clock in the morning to the time I passed my report in, then you don't have a problem. If I can send text messages about that defendant, then it's all legal. I don't care what you say. My union rep is going to tear you a new asshole.
Yep.
That's why I found it very interesting that this high-profile case said Michael Proctor is the one getting fired. But when you look at the big scheme of things, if there was no policy in place for any of this to happen, it's not the first time Mike's done this,
right?
But it was also allowed to happen through his management team, which would be Tully, Buchanan, and Marcy.
It was so much allowed to happen and encouraged. He now works as a private investigator. In order to get a private investigator's license, you have to go to the district attorney's office. So the same DA's office that fired Michael Proctor
But there's no policy in place to stop that from happening. If you're a state trooper and you work for the Nova County, you cannot go back and get a PI license at Nova County. We're not going to let it happen. That's like a double slap in the face. Like, go to Suffolk, go to Essex, go to whatever. But you can't come back to your old boss and say, hey, listen, I know I'm not a state anymore, but I need a gun license. I'm going to be a PI, and this is what we're working for, who's a good old boy, and here we go. But I look back at the whole investigation technique and say, okay, Mike, well, Karen Reed's car passed 100 Ring videos. You didn't pull anything.
Has it been confirmed, guys, that he is working as a PI?
100%.
I don't know.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100,000%.
Are you sure it's 100%? No, I'm kidding.
I'm sure it's not 101.
My friend's face when he showed up, she was like, "Yeah, Michael Proctor. Hi."
That's ridiculous. And you're, as you were saying, it's like in order to become one, it's got to go through the DA's office. So I mean, you want to talk about allowing malfeasance to persist. You know what I mean? Like,
to my point, hey Mike, you're gonna eat one for the team.
Right.
You're gonna get your PI license. You're gonna get a walkaway bonus because we can put it under rule something. But also, Uncle Frank over here is gonna hire you for the next 30 years, guaranteed. And you're gonna get all the state contracts. You know, you're gonna work with all the ADAs and the DAs.
Right. Great example to set, right, Mike? Great example. No. You can do whatever you want, and we got your back after the fact.
Right.
By the way, I'm going to just throw this out there to you guys. You don't know I'm doing this, but if anyone is interested in offering a super chat to Seeking Justice this morning, I will match your super chat and make a donation to Seeking Justice this morning.
Wow. There's fireworks going off now, folks. There's fireworks going off. But I think this was a good conversation. I think it was a great, healthy conversation this morning.
Well, yeah.
I'm currently unhealthy, but I participated in a healthy conversation. I love stuff like this because it's this is why I still love my sports center in the morning, because you both continue to talk about issues that are so important and that transcend beyond Massachusetts, things that should matter to everyone. That's why your audience is so broad. And the issues are very important. By the way, though, and end this, cut me off at any point, but I did want to ask you guys, like, what are you doing next week with Aiden? He's in court on Monday, I think, but I think I heard, is he joining your show on Tuesday?
Tuesday morning, he's coming on.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Yeah, he's definitely.
I can only. Fingers crossed, they walk in. The judge says, all right, what do you want? Prosecutor walks up. We want to just drop the charges. Sorry, don't waste your time. Let's go home. Pray. He deserves that. Put this to bed. Enough.
But I'd be lying if I knew what hearing it was. I think it's a motion hearing, but I'll have to.
You just brought up something I wanted to talk about too, is that we're going to be following the Turner Boy cases, the plural. I would like to see, and maybe he has it out there in his articles online, or we need to find a central place where we can just find all his charging docs, what dates they were, who they were against, and what's going forward from here. Because with Karen, we had that. Now they might have it out there, but I don't know anything in place.
They're out there. They're just not put together the way they worked with Karen, but they're all out there.
Well, the short answer is, I don't even know if they're out there and assembled, properly, neatly, etc. But I will make sure that I look into that, and I'll at least put a call to arms to anybody, the Twitter warriors, like, hey, can someone do this? Now, let me be very clear. This may already exist. It's a great question you have there, Mike. Someone needs to have assembled these. Like, I know Will the Glarer went over the course of 5 streams, the charges against him.
Right.
But now there have since been dismissals of some of the indictments. But I will also put out a call to arms for that to be cataloged, I guess would be the right way to say it.
I think that having that access to that for everybody out there that's involved in this, that wants to get involved in it, I think out of sight, out of mind, it kind of goes away. The more we talk
Right.
about it and bring it to light, and the easier it can be for Tom and myself and other creators just to bring it up and talk about a certain subject, like why did this happen on this date? We can go back and look at what was said. We can test it. We can break it down like the Reed case.
Correct.
But where it's difficult for us to find said documents, either Bettero might have them or Brado might have them, and Brado's not on Twitter. So if we had a free Turtle Boy at free Turtle Boy Twitter account and had all the listing docs, like a sleuthy
yes
Excel spreadsheet would have, like you have all the tabs of what happened. I know it's a lot of work, but it would make life a lot easier.
I think I have a sneaking suspicion it exists already, but I'm going to look into it and circle back with you both. Also, I saw with my strained vision, Michelle Littlefield is in your chat, and she said DAs have nothing to do with being licensed PIs, only in Massachusetts State Police. So
Michelle, I'd love to have Michelle come up. Michelle she took a big hit, and I don't want to say stuck her neck out, but that lady did a lot more than we can even begin to tell. So
hi to you, Michelle. And yes, I think that would be a great idea. Now I'm glitching. See, I move once. I gotta improve my get up here. I built a moat mic. I bought a British supercar, and I've been streaming since January.
Nan, I'll tell you the camera to get.
It's not the camera.
No,
it's I actually, it's the setup. I've got 2 computers here. I'm streaming on a laptop.
Okay.
I have a webcam that's not part of the laptop with better pixelization plugged into the laptop, so it just looks better. I then have my headphones so the sound does not reverberate off the back of my office, which will make for a better sound experience for your viewers without an echo. And I think it's the headphones. So see, look, I touch them and then all of a sudden something jiggles. So it's not the camera. What I need to do is, if anyone has tech experience and knows how to set up like streaming experiences, I'd love you to reach out to me, message me on X or my Facebook page, my Lawfurio Facebook page, and hook me the fuck up, because it's really laughable at this point.
Nan, I can do it remotely. I can do it from here.
Okay, we'll talk. Well, he's like,
get Best Buy out there, have some guy come in there and physically touch everything for you.
Get them out of here. I got this. Check.
I need to call like the Geek Squad. But no, Tom, you can help me, but I'm a blonde. Like, you're gonna have to be like, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this.
Listen, let me help me log in and then just walk away. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, but he wants access to your computer.
No, I don't.
Watch out. Yeah. You're missing your browser history, everything. Look out.
You're missing the big picture, Tommy. I have the whole thing jerry-rigged. It's not the it's not the computer. And by the way, you know what else I have? I have it's called what do you call it? A creator tree. It's a podcast tree. It literally thing here with this very nice microphone that then goes around to the back of the computer and is plugged into a Volt, which is some type of integrator that's supposed to improve the quality of the sound. It is a disaster here. Thank God I practice law better than I stream. So somebody help me. Tommy, I'm going to let you. And you can log into my computer.
We'll get this fixed,
but I ain't going to show you shit. But I'll let you log in.
I'm kidding.
No, I'm kidding, my friend.
Nothing on me.
No. Well, you know, you're gonna log in and look for nudes like Proctor would. You ain't gonna find any.
You know what's funny? I've touched literally thousands of computers in my life. I don't think I ever went out inside looking specifically at people's stuff. I don't want it. I don't care. It's not.
Yeah,
my
no.
It's just not.
You know, I'm kidding.
I know you are, but like I own a computer business. People bring the machines in, drop them off, walk out the door. I
I
got
can
their
only imagine. I can
everything.
only imagine.
Mike, I'm
Comes
logged into their bank
cameras everywhere.
account. Oh God, it's crazy. But again,
You
it's
talk
not
about-
my data; it's their data, and I have enough for my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want no one else's stuff. So
Said the thief.
yeah,
You know how you said the Bahamas, right? You said the Bahamas, it popped up. You got an email. That was Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wasn't it?
I used to send spam out. So part of sending
Who's
spam
coming?
out.
Who's coming to the Bahamas with me? I wonder if there's free Karen Reed or free Turtle Boy supporters.
There is
in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
No, we got to
Well,
get that.
we had people that have gone to the Bahamas and held up the signs and you know on the chairs. And
Remember
towels
that they did
and stuff. So yeah, we do have them. They travel. We travel well. We travel good.
It's so. By the way, I'm going to be embarking on some travel in the coming weeks. At some point, I'm going to be in Nashville. At some point, I'm going to be in Vegas. In the latter part of the month, I will be in Florida, near the Space Coast, and then I will be in Disney. So I'm gonna, see if any free Karen readers or free Turtle Boy supporters wanna meet up. I love meeting people and just kind of shaking hands.
A date.
You want
dates?
Oh well, I will give those
Okay.
to be determined.
Per request.
Because, listen, people have been talking about sending me and Mike on a road trip.
Do you guys want to come to Disney with me? How much fun would that be?
The chat is gonna send us. They're gonna say where we go, we stop. They're in charge of us. The chat sending us on a mission.
Oh man, I could do a fundraiser to get you guys in a Winnebago and send you on a cross country trip.
Please,
how about that?
please.
That would be the best reality show ever.
I'm begging.
Oh
I'm begging.
God.
Please, can we do that?
I don't know if I'd go. I think you two have.
Oh, you would have a ball, Mike. You kidding me?
I don't know. I don't know, Tom. You're a little rough around the edges. I don't want to snuggle with you that night.
By the way, that I'm now reminded. I have a gift for each one of you. I brought it up when I came up on Sunday, but I got so unwell, I left. I have some gifts for a few select people that I had to bring home with me. So I will be up again next month, but I may end up shipping them to your residences. So I may ask you for your address.
Not a problem. Easy enough.
No problem.
Yeah.
Have you been to New Hampshire, Nan?
I went to New Hampshire once. Actually, no, I went twice. I lectured at a place called the Mount Washington something resort,
Yep.
very, very big hotel.
I'm
And
not
then I went to Lake Winnipesaukee.
Winnie. That we call it Winnie.
Yeah.
So,
why are you asking?
Because I didn't know if you've actually seen Lake Winnipesaukee. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it, up there?
Yeah, interesting. Yes, it's beautiful. That's where my parents went on their honeymoon back
oh
in
my God.
1966. And when both my parents passed away just a few months apart a few years back, and we knew my other parent was going to pass away when my first parent passed away. Once both my parents had passed away, shortly thereafter, I went up to Lake Winnipesaukee just to kind of share some of their memories. It was good for my soul. So I went back there and I found it very beautiful and very healing. I really like New Hampshire a lot.
Winnipesaukee got a special place in my heart.
Tommy only goes there because they sell Newports.
No,
Oh.
the fish, the smallies, baby. And then
I'd
Squam.
love to fish with you there.
The next lake above Winnipesaukee is called Squam Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a whole movie about it on Golden Pond.
Oh, I love that movie.
That was born. That's where that was filmed.
Squam, are you saying? Squam Lake?
Squam Lake. That's even nicer. It's farther up.
I love that movie. Henry Fonda, Jane Fonda, Katharine Hepburn.
It's a classic, all right.
Yeah, they used to air it all the time on HBO when I was young, and oh man, Squatum, is that what it's called?
Squam. SQUAM. But they
Oh,
call
okay.
it Squantum.
Okay, yeah, my vision needs to.
Indian Lake. Newfound Lake is south of Winnipesaukee.
Well, I'm thinking about taking up fishing as a new interest.
You'd
So
love
if
it. You
you
would
want
love
to take me
it. I could see
fishing.
on that. I just hooked up someone stole an 11-year-old kid's fishing tackle, his rods in his tackle box. So I messaged the kid's mother, and they came over, and the mother was, I gave her like a tote. The mother's carrying it, and the kid's like, "Mom, can we get more stuff?" I just kept throwing stuff in the kid's box. So they
That's
left.
very sweet of you. I love that.
I think fishing is a wonderful thing. I think everybody should fish. Mike knows it calms your mind.
Yeah,
anything on the
because
anything on the water. Yeah, anything on the water.
anything on the water, like I can water ski, but that's not what I would call relaxing.
You drop a ski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
But and I go up to Lake George in
Yep.
New York once a year, sometimes every 2 years. I love it there. It's a little commercial for me, but if you go up
Oh, they got man. They got nothing else up there, right? There's
yeah, and then there's another lake that I've gone to, Lake Champlain.
yes, Champlain. I go up there a lot.
Yeah, that's
Ty Conderoga's got largemouth, and then all
yes.
the way up at North Hero was smallmouth.
Yeah,
150 miles long.
I'm thinking like in the next couple of weeks, depending on my kids' sports schedules, driving up to
New Hampshire dude for a hundo. Nice.
My God, New Hampshire dude. Thank you.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
you. By the way, whatever you guys, I will be in touch with you with what your super chat total was for this stream. You may not know. I think it takes about 24 hours, and I'm going to match it and donate it to you.
Well, it's over $1,000 already.
Mike, oh my God.
Well, we could throw it, whatever it is. I'll match it, and I can throw it to
just let Tom
Turtle Boy
let Tom dial into your computer. That's all we need, and the checks will keep coming every month.
Boom.
We got you.
Oh,
we got you. What are you doing here? Who's this?
Come here.
YouTube takes 30%. So
come here. Oh, I thought she was gonna get up. Come here. Come here.
Come on.
Was it a labradoodle?
Yeah. Hold on one sec. Come here.
Oh.
Let's hope she doesn't yank my headphones out. Come here.
Love.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Mike.
Mike.
I got one of those.
He's got one.
Look at her eyes are black as shit, as I say.
Oh my God, they are.
Like I can't see her. This is I don't know if you can hear me because the mic is not near my face. This is Roselle.
Yeah.
Hey, Roselle.
She's an 80-pound Bernedoodle, Bernese Mountain Dog.
Yeah.
Poodle. And
standard poodle, right?
I am her life.
Well.
So you should bring her up.
Come here.
Wow.
Actually, it works the other way around too.
Come here.
You know?
That's awesome.
She's beautiful.
Thank you.
How old is she?
She was a COVID pup. So I got her she was born on Super Bowl Sunday in 2021. So she's 4.
All right.
And I boarded her for the week because I was supposed to be in. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
I boarded her for the week because I was supposed to be in Massachusetts, and I kept her there so I could, even though I came home early, so I could rest and recuperate. And can you hear her panting?
Yeah, she's loving you. Look at her.
Little heavy breathing from Malfeasants.
Look at her. You can't get a happier dog.
But the interesting thing was I this dog, like, I'm her life. I don't know why. It's pathetic. She needs to find something more interesting to care about. But I walked into the boarding facility last night, and you wait, you pay, you do what you have to do, and then you wait for, I don't know, 5 minutes for them to get your dog and bring them out to you. So I'm literally standing there. I'm just kind of looking at my phone, waiting for them to bring her out. They bring her out. She breaks free out of the leash from the woman who was bringing her out. She completely tackled me. I got tackled right over a chair behind me and ended up pinned against the wall.
Nice.
So yeah. And everyone's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I expected this to happen. But yeah, my kids are away, so it's just me and Roselle hanging out.
You could get another dog.
I could. I actually almost got 2 from her litter. Is there another dog? like Chloe? Is Chloe available or
She does
Chloe's
move
dead?
around. She's in the WITSEC program right now for dogs. So let's see what happens.
Download. You got to be careful with that stuff. It gets around.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, but my dog is she I think she's attached to me because when I got her during COVID, that's when I predominantly started working remotely. I'll only go into my office. Oh, I have two offices, one in New Jersey, one in Manhattan, and I probably only go into each of them once a week. And Roselle, from the time she was a puppy, would just lie under my feet while I was working, which is all the time. So now she never leaves my side.
So we need a picture of you and Roselle in a convertible.
Ooh.
Preferably one of the German ones, stick, and get a nice picture of you two in the car.
Done.
Drive with the roof down. I want to see that on X later on today. That'd be a nice picture.
I would love to do that, and in fact, I have some plans later. But before that, I was thinking of going to my firm in the Beamer,
it's nice,
which is the convertible, the 240i.
Yeah.
And I will bring Roselle with me, and it's such a beautiful day. I'll take a picture and send it to you.
See, I'm a car guy, so I wouldn't let the dog on the seat.
Oh no, I have a whole towel set up, Tommy.
Okay, good. Check.
Real thick Egyptian cotton towels. You hook it, and here's what you do for anyone who has dogs but is a car enthusiast. Get a really thick, either Egyptian or Turkish cotton towel. Hang it, and you poke holes into it like a bath sheet. Poke holes into it. Pop the headrest off.
Yep.
Put the holes over where the metal prongs are for the headrest, and then drape the towel over those prongs. Put the headrest back on. Drape the towel over the seat. So your leather seats are going to be
not even
unblemished. And then you take that towel and you then put it over your armrest, your console. A lot of my cars have that like piano black finish, which I absolutely hate.
It's like almost plasticky in the tracks, dust and everything.
For every single fingerprint, I hate it. But I put the towel over all of that, and the only thing I free up is my stick shift.
There you go.
You know, got to drive a standard.
If you do a video, I want to hear you wind the engine out a little bit more. Please, shifting, please.
Let me
tachometer up that thing a little bit. Please.
Let me tell you a few things, because now
here we go.
She leans into the mic. Let me tell you something.
Check. We're talking my language. Let me tell you the shit Nan does to her cars. First, on the 240i last month, I paid whatever to have a better exhaust system put into that car. It was not quote unquote throaty enough. I needed that car souped up. So when I pull up to a red light and I'm kind of revving that engine, and that car is red. I don't know if I've pointed that out. That car is red. I pull up to that red light, and like some little punk who's like half my age pulls up next to me, and he thinks I'm going to smoke this mama. No, you're not. I rev it up and I tear off the line and I blow his fucking doors off. So that car is throaty and beautiful. So I hope you can hear that. Then I have another Beamer. That's a 650i X-Drive M. It's a 650i M X-Drive Grand Coupe. That car, I did a full muffler delete. My neighbor.
Nice, Mike.
So it's straight pipes to the back.
Got cutouts. No,
yes.
Cutouts.
I did a full muffler delete. That car, when you start it up, you can hear it from, I'm not kidding, half a mile away. And on the mornings when I have to go into the city and I take that car, which is the car I usually take into the city, which is also red. That car, I've heard from neighbors way down the road that they know, like in the early morning hours when I started up, that I'm heading into the city. Then, and the last part of this tale is that I have recently purchased a Lotus. And that is a 2024. And that has like 100 miles. It had like 100 miles on it. And the manufacturer said you can't rev that car up to 4,000 RPMs or whatever the hell they're called. You can't get it past up to 4,000 until you've driven it 1,000 miles. It
Break-in
screws.
period. That's right.
Yeah, there's a break-in period for this British supercar. So I'm chomping at the bit to hit 1,000 miles in it. But I don't drive it that often because I like my convertible, especially in the warmer months. So that's enough of Nan bragging about her vehicles. But I did it all through grifting through the Karen Reed trial. I took in lots of money.
Can I make a suggestion though?
Yeah.
Your next car purchase, maybe?
Yeah.
Can you go old muscle car like a Hellcat?
I sent you a fucking picture.
So
of my Hellcat.
Of a Nova. No, that yeah, but you're not talking about it.
I'm not. Like, I do tend to gravitate toward. Was that one a Hellcat? I don't remember, but you're right. Who is that?
Like a nice throaty.
I'm afraid to show Nan this. Just a FYI, I'm afraid.
Show me.
I follow this guy. He is just great. There's two I want to show you. So this is one
of all of GM's vehicles. This is the unicorn of all of GM's vehicles. Under the hood is a supercharged 556 horsepower LSA engine. And to make matters worse, right? This is a station wagon. This is like the last American station wagon. Everybody else want to go build 1,000 horsepower Dodge Magnum Hellcat swaps, right? That's cute. You can afford that. It don't matter how much money you got. You got to damn near sell your soul to the owner just to be able to get these, because they don't want to get off. They're not going to cough up these things. This is an American icon. I'm going to be honest.
All right. So there's that one, right?
That's nice.
But this guy, he likes Yosnan. So let me stop that one. He likes BMWs, kind of. This is, I think, close to what you may have. So we'll see.
I mean, your BMWs are 240, Dan.
Oh, I bought that for a reason, though. And normally that is beneath me, but it's fun.
Okay.
Because that's
BMW.
So here's the BMW one.
Of 10s with this fucking fast. Bro, this is a warning for everybody out there. These guys are sneaky. BMW F10 guys are running a lot of fucking power from these 4.4 V8s. Round here beating motherfuckers with steering wheel hand warmers and shit. Round here pushing 650 to 1,000 horsepower comfortably in heated ass seats.
That's right.
Round here not filling any potholes in the road, everything on the street and shit. Besides the BMW E39 M5, the BMW F10 M5 is by far the second best looking M5 that BMW has ever made. You can make a lot of power with simple turbo and tune. That's it. And about 600 to 700 horsepower instantly. Damn, man, like, this thing is fucking amazing. Bro,
So people don't realize just how powerful and how much of a machine these cars are. They're machines, and when you're at this level of a vehicle, it's different. It's absolutely a different vehicle altogether.
And I agree. And I still keep, and I'm not solely a Beamer person, but I still go back to buying BMWs, even though one of mine exploded. It literally caught fire while I was driving it. I will send you pictures of that. It was unbelievable. But what makes? So that was a
3 Series, 5 Series, 6 Series, 7 Series.
No, I think it was a 3. I think it was a 3 Series.
Was it
330 or 325?
Nan, was it the plastic elbow that goes into the gas tank that splits? Because that's what happens to a lot of Ferraris.
Yes, I believe that was the case. And I had the kids in the car when it caught fire.
Once it starts, you can't put it out because of where it starts.
I'm going to see if I can text you a picture of it. I'll I'll never forget that day. I mean, thank God I was safe, but it happened right on the side of the highway. It was unbelievable. And the interesting part about that was the car caught fire. I pulled over. I ran away from it. I obviously took the children. I ran away from it down the highway because I'm like, this thing's going to explode. My phone rings. Okay, okay, my phone's ringing and it's ringing and it's ringing. I'm trying at the time to get my husband on the phone. Yeah, like the phone keeps ringing. You know who it was? It was BMW support.
Yeah.
And they were calling me and they were like, finally I answered it. And I'm like, hello? And I'm watching the car burn. And they're like, yes, this is, I forget what they're called, but it's like roadside assistance. You know, this is BMW. Your car is throwing a signal to us that your car may have either been stolen or is disabled. I was like, yeah, it's fucking on fire on this. and you know what they said to me? They're like, oh, okay, but you have the car. Great. Have a good day. And they hung up. But it was actually on fire and was completely destroyed. And I had a hard time with, I was it BMW financing or whomever? I had to like, the car was totaled.
Yes.
I need to send you a bunch of pictures, Tommy. You're going to flip out when you see it. But I had a hard time kind of paying off the rest of the car because I'm like, this was a manufacturing problem.
Right.
And that car I financed. So anyway, but I still go back to Beamers. I love Porsches. I do love British supercars.
See, the brand new Corvette, right? The LSX. That brand new Corvette is beating every single thing out there. It's going to break the Nürburgring track. It's going to break that record. So look out.
But are they made of fiberglass though? Like I'd be
everything's carbon fiber. Everything.
Carbon fiber. That's it.
Oh, by the way, I sent you a text. Did you get that?
Oh crap. Let's see.
Just so you know, that person has been extremely influential and knowledgeable in so many ways about what has been transpiring with the Camry case.
Oh, yes.
He helps me and Mike out with stuff, and it's always 100%. You'll know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, I have received that. I will definitely reach out to that individual, and I will take a picture of me and Roselle hitting the law firm.
We want to add that to our opening monologue. Like have the
gotta have them. Gotta have it.
Yeah.
But I want you to see. I want to I can tell how quick you're shifting, and I'm like, no, you got to keep that second gear going a little bit more, and the third going a little bit more.
I can do that. I'm real sorry if my shifting.
It's upsetting to me.
My shifting intervals have disappointed you greatly.
But we can get through this together because I'm here to help. I'm not here to criticize.
No,
I'm here to help.
I take constructive criticism very well. No, but you're probably right. I was trying to keep a smoother ride because typically I'm with my son who's a budding social media influencer.
He needs to keep doing that. He's great with that. Can you tell him
social media influencer?
He does really good with that.
Well, he'll love this next video then if you do it right.
Yeah,
he's just looking for second gear, man. He wants second.
I want the hat down low, the glasses on,
noise when you bang second, bang. You know,
bang, bang.
You know, it's interesting. On this note, my children bought me a gift for Mother's Day, and I haven't worn it yet. They bought me a scally cap, which is black leather. It's badass.
We ain't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I think I will wear that in one of my next driving videos.
Driving with Nan on Saturday morning with Tom and Mike.
Oh yeah, I think that would.
That's good.
See, I get positive comments. In fact, when I was outside for the verdict those 2 days, so many people came up to me and said, "I love your son. He's so great." And I said, "He wants to be a journalist."
Oh, he's got that already.
And he wanted to either be a social media influencer or a journalist. So now that he has a phone, I'm trying to help him find his way in his comfort level and interviewing people, etc. I've received some criticism from some people online, like, how dare you put a picture of your child online? I was like, excuse me, I'm his parent. I can determine what I want to put out for him.
He's old enough, right?
He's 10, but I'm not, I'm a great mom.
He acts older than that. He seems like
The kid needs a haircut.
He's up there.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No, Mike?
No.
Oh man, he looks like who's that pitcher? Jacob DeGrom. Like when he's doing his pitching and he's got I don't even know if DeGrom has had a haircut recently, but when Blaze is pitching, he's got the long hair and he puts the mitt in front of his face and he's got the eyes.
Now, absolutely good. That's his thing.
Fucking
yes.
name. Give him hair.
Nailed it.
And his name is Blaze, and Blaze really wants to. He was very interested in Karen Reed's case. He's always heard about Turtle Boy and has an interest in Turtle Boy. He's known a little bit about what has been happening with Turtle Boy, and I've been putting Blaze off. I've been saying things like, when he asks, like, tell me more about Turtle Boy, and I'm like, you know what? I'll tell you more after Karen's case is over. And now
it is a lot for a 10-year-old.
It is.
Even the players to know who they are is a lot.
And now that the case is over with Karen, I've started to talk to Blaze about Aiden, and it is a lot. Like, and I have to keep it very PG.
Yep.
But Blaze is all about speaking his mind. He always likes to ask questions. He wants to be able to find the truth. He's very analytical, like his mom, very commonsensical.
Right.
So I want to, as his parent of a young child, like I want to help cultivate that.
Nourish.
Nourish it, because I think it's important to have inspiration. When I was his age, by that point, I wanted to be a lawyer by the time I was his age. And I feel like it's a responsibility I have to help nourish and cultivate his interests at this young age, because it can make all the difference in how he treats his education and his, he'll eventually hit a point where he's choosing colleges or making decisions as to what he wants to do with social media when he's on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've received some criticism from people saying either I shouldn't put pictures of my kids on my social media. I obviously ask them first, explain to them what I'm doing if they'd like to do it. And then also I have received some criticism from non-trolls, I'll leave it at that, who have said things like, oh, she's moving on to her next thing, or she's used, isn't it funny that Nan and her son are pivoting to this or to that? And I simply say to everybody, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, and it's none of your fucking business. And I love my son. I love his interests.
Yep. How can you not want to encourage and help him and see him grow? If at 10, if that's what he wants to do at 10 years old, man, give him as much as he can take. Like,
I agree.
It's only going to make him so much smarter down the road. He's already there.
Yeah, and the first time I guess he was involved in this. Okay, so I guess I've been streaming as a guest since January. The first time my son kind of got involved publicly was he had like secretly recorded me when I was driving my car, and he started interviewing me. So that had to have been May, because that's when he got his cell phone. And when he recorded me, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I saw his little video, and I'm like, I'm going to post this. And then he asked me about it. Mommy, like, what did people say? Did people like it? I'm like, people liked it. So he was like, I want to do another. I want to do another. And the weather has been cooperating where, I'll take the convertible out, and he wants to do another and another. So, I'm scheduled next to be at a game for him on Sunday, and we'll see about I don't know what the weather is, but maybe I'll put him in the car and we'll talk about some of these issues. I'm even talking to him high level, very, very high level about Sandra Birchmore's case in a way that would never be inappropriate for a young child.
Right.
And that's my choice to do that. And he's a justice fighter. He's very much like me, and it's really it tickles pink that I named him Blaze. I chose his name, and he is fiery and like his mommy.
He's grown into the name.
Yes.
Nothing. Nan, it's got to be a parenting win to see your son.
Yeah.
What he's doing now at this age, as well as he is. I mean, how you
think so.
That's a checkbox. That's a wicked big win, Nan.
Thank you. I'm really proud of him, and I'm proud of my daughter, who is a wonder. She's 12. Her name is Fiona. I love her so much. She is a very, very skilled softball player. She made the national softball team.
That's big stuff. Yep.
Yeah,
They're tough girls, man.
She's a badass. I'm so proud of her. She's also was a very strong Karen Reed supporter. I can't say she's a Turtle Boy supporter because she's 12, so like she doesn't care so much about what mommy talks about anymore. But Blaze sure does. And both my kids are the apples of my eye, and they know, like, I'm streaming this morning with you guys, and they were so happy that I got to watch Sports Center. So I don't want to take up much more of your holiday, but I wanted to wish all of you guys a very, very happy and healthy 4th of July weekend. Have a cocktail or not, Tommy. Relax.
I can do that.
Be healthy, and guess what? Try to watch some fireworks and celebrate today, because there's a lot to celebrate, both nationally and for our country, but also locally up there. You had a big win recently, and let's just kind of celebrate for what's to come for Aiden, and hopefully some justice for Sandra Birchmore and Enrique Delgado Garcia. And I love you all so much, and it's a pleasure to always be with you.
It's mutual. And please tell your son he's doing a dynamite job. Everybody loves what he does.
Thank you.
From his point of view. And if he has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them.
Thank you. And at some point, Tommy, I'm going to talk with you about your text to me. And then I'm also going to talk with you about my jerry-rigged setup here.
Figure that out. Yep.
Yeah. So thanks for having me, guys. I miss you so much. And I'll catch you guys in your chat on your next stream.
Nan, have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, and prayers to your whole family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Take care.
Love you, Nan. Wow, Mike. That was a pretty good holiday show, huh?
Yeah, that was good. That was some good Q&As. That was nice. Yeah.
Awesome. Freaking fabulous.
Well, thanks for doing it. In my mind, we weren't going to, but like I said, it's kind of weird not doing the show anymore. So if I got to do a show because my day's doesn't get set the right way. But anyways, good day. It was a good conversation. I'm glad she was on. Yep. She's got great insight, great natural instincts about how things should go. Chat, you guys are great, dude. You guys are great.
How can we help Aiden? How about showing up at the courthouse on Monday at 2:00? Or show up here, even watching. Oh, by the way, hit the like and subscribe.
By the way,
if you don't, I love these tattoos. Look at the mic. See them? How they're like 3D.
What's that?
They hit the tattoo.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Badass. Huh? Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah.
On his arm, pretty badass. You don't have to like Turtle Boy, but if you're a fan of the truth, you must listen to him. The truth is absolutely right on the money. Yeah. Grant's rope belt. I love the name.
Yeah, best handle so far.
Just looking for a belt. Happy 4th. And then Donna, 5 memberships. Wow. Thank you, Donna. RVA again. Nan, Mike, Tommy, brother from another.
You're welcome, brother. Thanks, man.
$20 from IW. Thank you very much, IW. £2 for the Disney trip. Awesome. New Hampshire dude, $100. Oh my
Jesus
word.
Christ, man.
Thank you so much, bud. That really helps.
Yeah.
Really does.
All right, man. I
All
will
right,
see you. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.
Monday, bud.
I'll see you Monday.
Oh,
I don't know what time. What time? Do you know yet? Or no? You gonna
probably
put
do early show, and then I'll zip in.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, do an early show, then we'll head in. Yes.
2:00.
Yes.
We start at noon. So.
All right, chat. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you.
Bye, man.
All right, everybody. I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend, please. If you get some time, let me pop this up on the screen real quick. Share screen. This is Aiden's Defense Fund right now. It would be really nice if we could get that over. I know it's a lot of money, guys, but I know you guys can do it. We're almost there. Another $10,000. We're at 190,000 of his $200,000 goal. We're real close, guys. It'd be nice if we could pop that this weekend. Get him done over. So that's our next crusade, is what they're doing to Aiden. So, with that said, I love you all very much. I'm out of here. I'm going to New Hampshire. Peace out. Everyone be safe. Be healthy. Thank you all for the donations. I love you all. The Venmo up top works great. Matter of fact, let me check my Venmo. I got a Venmo. Woohoo! Okay. 1 second. What's up? Home. Pam Bonifelli, $4. Happy 4th. May independence from oppression and suppression come to Massachusetts. Please. Thank you so very much. Oh, Gail. You know, it costs a lot of money. Yep. He's already been through that. So he does need it. He does. Oh, I got a Cash App. Woo-hoo-hoo. What's this one say? How do I find that? Oh, maybe text. I don't know. Where is it? Oh my God. I have a $25 Cash App. I can't see who it's from. Why won't it let me? It's got to be a way. Back. I don't want to leave without finding out who sent this to me. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm really screwing up here. Oh my God. It doesn't tell me. Oh my word. Listen. This is going to make me go crazy. Here we go. What's this? All right. I think I got it. Wait a minute. Loading. Donna Rash paid me $20. Donna, thank you so very much. Wow. And I got one more. I got a $5 one and a $20. Well, must have a $10 one and another $20 one. So that's $30 and it's still loading. It won't come up. Loading. So, with that said, I will try and get up. There we go, Donna. Thank you so much, everybody. I really, I just can't thank you all enough for being here. It's a nice feeling to see everybody in chat and, to be able to talk and have you guys, be part of that. So maybe, if we go on this weekend, maybe I'll open up the phone lines and take a bunch of calls from you guys. Maybe Saturday I can do that, or Sunday. But either way, today's Friday. Please enjoy this beautiful day God gave us. 74 degrees out. beautiful sunshine all day. Gonna be fireworks tonight. Yeah, it's gonna be almost perfect tonight. Almost perfect. So please thank my mods. They're the reason that we're here. They help me in amazing ways. They're great. Do you take from Oz? I don't know what that means. The Wizard of Oz? Maybe. Yeah. So, everybody, I love you all. I am going to have a great weekend. I'm headed to New Hampshire, cars packed, full gas, ready to rock and roll in about 2 minutes. So, you all be safe. I'm on the roads. Love you all. Have a great weekend.
Cold mornings, cracked pavement, courthouse steps. He's there before sunrise while the world still rests. No cameras needed, no spotlight glare. Just a man with a purpose, always standing there. Facing the crowd, but the fight in his veins. Truth in his hands, pushing through the rain. Karen sees him, she knows what it means when you've got boots on the ground and you fight for your dreams. Boots on the ground, day after day, standing for truth in the hardest way. No fame, no glory, just a promise kept. Tom CPU, you never left. He don't ask for credit, don't ask for praise. Just fight in the good fight in 1,000 ways. When the cameras fade and the voices die, he's still right there, never asking why. He's got a handshake that you can trust, eyes that don't blink when it comes to us. Karen smiles because she knows it's true. She's got a soldier and his name's CPU. Boots on the ground, day after day, standing for truth in the hardest way. No fame, no glory, just a promise kept. Tom CPU, you never left. When the courthouse is empty and the crowd's gone home, Tom's still walking, he's never alone. 1,000 steps, 1,000,000 prayers, because justice don't sleep and neither does he care.